1045 The Team, 1045theteam.com. On the phone right now, Nick Davey, head baseball coach for the Albany Dutchmen. You know, Nick, we've got summer college travel baseball starting now. I'm just finally getting caught up to speed on high school sectional brackets and college baseball, conference tournaments and things like that. And now here comes summer ball. You guys finished in the third spot last year, claimed the last playoff spot. You ready for the season again?
I can't wait. You know, I think we got our best team on paper. Been tracking these guys for 3-4 months now during the college season. Obviously, Division I still has another whole week of conference scheduled before they go into their conference tournaments and regional play. But on paper, this could be the best Dutchman team that we've had in the 7 years here, and I'm really looking forward to get going.
Now, you guys in the Perfect Game League, one of the top leagues in the Northeast, along with the NECBL, the NYCBL, Cape Cod, all that. Where are your players coming from? Because if you run through your roster, there's some high-profile Division I programs.
Yeah, that's the question I get a lot of times. Well, how do you get these kids, and how does the roster get put together? And what I can say to that, it's kind of who you build relationships with. So if you went back the last 4 or 5 years, we've really had a good relationship with Coastal Carolina. They've sent us some great players. Ole Miss, we're starting to, last year was the first year we got any guys from Ole Miss, and that was Mike Fitzsimmons, who was the only freshman playing in their lineup right now as their DH. And this year we got 2 guys coming from Ole Miss. Coach Owens at Bryant, who's a perennial power in the region, has always sent us, good guys, and and then the local schools. We have we always take somebody from Coach Rossi in Siena. Coach Mueller's been very good to us at SUNY Albany, and my alma mater at St. Rose. We always try and get 1 or 2 of their better players, to come out and compete with us for the summertime.
Speaking of St. Rose, you guys play at Blair Field, which is one of the premier fields in the Capital Region. How much of a blessing is that for you?
Well, it means a little bit more to me, being an alum there, playing for Coach Belizzi, coaching with Coach Belizzi, as close to the family as I still am. It's an honor to be able to step on that field 25 times during the summer. He was a father figure to me. He meant so much to me in my development as a player and as a coach. Gave me my first opportunity in this, and I'll forever be, I'll forever thank him for that, and it's just an honor. It's a beautiful field. They do a great job of upkeep there. I think it's a place where we're very big in player development when our players get here, and with the facility that we have on a daily basis, it's very easy to let them come in and get their early work in and do what we need to do to keep developing them throughout the summer.
You guys have also developed a relationship with the Tri-City ValleyCats, and for the second straight year, you guys with the Dutchmen are actually going to be playing the ValleyCats in the middle of June, right as the ValleyCats get ready to start their season. How cool an experience is that for your players to go up against professionals?
Well, it's a great experience for them and myself too as a coach. I've always picked I never stop trying to learn as well. So for me, whether it's a conversation, beforehand or something that I see that they do in game, I pick something up from it as well. But as for our players, I just think it's an opportunity for them to see, what that next level looks like. Some of these guys, and to be honest with you, the age difference really isn't that far off. Last year, some of these guys they knew each other. The kid who pitched against us last year was an Ole Miss guy, and he played with Fitzsimmons, so they knew each other. There was a relationship there. Some of these guys are very close in age, and as you know from being over there. So it's some of them are first-year pros, and they get to know the lay of the land. They get to see what type of facilities they're playing at. They get to know what it takes every day, and what it takes to be that guy day in and day out. And we had a great experience. We went over, had a 2-0 lead for 4 innings last year, and we're able to get some guys some work, and I think it helped those guys who pitched in that game, especially to see that they can get major league hitters out.
What was it? A few years ago that the NYCBL split up right into the Perfect Game League and the NYCBL. That was a few years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, I want to say we're about 5 years into that now. Our whole East Division of that NYCBL broke apart from the West, and started the Perfect Game. Our relationship with Perfect Game.
What have been the benefits of that? Obviously, it's a lot less travel, right? And the league is more concentrated on the eastern side of the state, which has to be a benefit for you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely it is. But, with our league expanding this year, we have gone back out to that part of the state, in the Elmira, Jamestown, Geneva area. But with the way we do our scheduling, it's geographically. So, we play the Saugerties and the Amsterdams and the Glens Falls more than anybody else, just for scheduling purposes. But absolutely, anytime you can put your name alongside a recruiting service that's as well known as Perfect Game, that's probably the most heavily sought out or these kids participate in Perfect Game events all the time, so they're very familiar with that name. So when we go and coaches are saying, hey, what do you think about the Perfect Game League for the summer, they already know a little bit about the organization. So I think it's helped us. It's definitely helped us in our recruiting efforts for players in the summer, and I think it's also helped other rosters in the league as well.
Nick Davey, Albany Dutchmen head coach with us, 104.5 The Team, 104.5theteam.com. Dutchmen opener June 1st. You've got the home opener at Blair Field on June 2nd. Now, you guys, though, in order to have this operation that you have with the Dutchmen, it goes beyond just yourself and your on-field coaching staff. What else are you looking for? You need some community help moving forward to make this season a success, too.
Yeah, as of right now, obviously this year it's a little different. Our roster is made up of predominantly most out-of-area guys from other schools, even though we do have some local talent, homegrown and local college guys. We still need about 2 or 3 more host families. The opportunity to have one of these guys, stay with you for the summer, not only helps us out and the players out, but it's able to build a relationship with a kid from another part of the country. It's what we've seen over the past is most of the families that get involved with us are ones that have younger kids in baseball. So to have somebody around the house that's, that they're looking up to, maybe from a school that, they inspire to play at someday, and to have a guy from, anywhere around the country that just loves baseball as much as they do has really been a benefit to us. But what we're seeing is those families that have helped us out in the past, and the younger generations are now high school kids, and their seasons are getting a little older. So we've lost a couple families that have been great to us, but for no other reason than their kids are getting older and their baseball schedules are getting more intense. And now we're just looking to start the cycle over to get younger families involved. With younger kids that love and aspire to play the game of baseball, and hopefully can be one of these guys someday and go off to somewhere across the country and have the opportunity to, for them to go into a host family, and play in a league like this. And it's a really good opportunity. They get season tickets for us. If they have children, their kids go to camp for free with us. And it's 25 nights of exciting baseball, which I think is the best amateur baseball in the country. So if there are, anybody listening that is willing to help us out, if you could go to Dutchmanbaseball.com and get on our host family page for that, and get in touch with one of our host family coordinators, Amy Bennett or Scott Stelts, and we'd really appreciate it.
Nick, sticking with the local scene, but off your team. So we were talking off the air before we hopped on, and you told me Ian Anderson of Shen is the best prep arm you've ever seen in this area. You going to stand by that statement on the air, the best you've ever seen?
I've jumped back and forth from this in high school baseball, over the last few years when I was helping over at Guilderland and whatnot, and absolutely, Ian Anderson is the best high school arm I've ever seen in this area. Now, that's going back probably to the early 90s, so I don't have too much of a, there's not a huge sample size there, but he's prime behind his years. He's very, it's just what you see is just, it's very mature. His emotion on the mound is unbelievable. His secondary stuff, the way he can control his secondary stuff for a high school arm right now is unbelievable. Last year, we got in a great game versus him. He hit us for 6 2/3 at Guilderland last year, and Matty Pierce threw a great game against us. I think they beat us 2-0 maybe. But what I came away from was his changeup is unbelievable, and he doesn't even use it yet. You know, he doesn't need that yet. But when he needs it, he went to it, and it was probably one of the best, you know, secondary pitches of any high school kid I saw all year last year. So, you know, there's what he has is what I like to call his toolbox. His toolbox is much more developed than most kids in this area right now. And I think he's got, you know, the best of both worlds. If he, you know, I know he's got off to a slow start here, pitching-wise, but I think if he decides to, you know, if he doesn't decide to go in a draft, I don't know what his number is. He's probably got one, him and his family. But if he doesn't go as high as he wants to, who wouldn't love to go to Vanderbilt?
Nick, we'll get you out of here on this. Switching to the major leagues, the big talk of the week is the Rangers Blue Jays brawl. What did you make of that whole situation? Was it cowardly of Texas to wait until Jose Bautista's last at bat of their final matchup of the season to plunk him, and then, you know, Odor's punch of him at second base?
Yeah, I didn't like it too much. You know, I mean, you got Bryce Harper saying we need to go to a new generation and the game needs to be exciting right now, and that's just not exciting. You know, that's how players get hurt. You know, this is their livelihood. I think you know, I think if there was an issue, it should have been, you know, once the year's over, the year's over. The new year starts, and it should start over. You know, I just don't like our new generation of players. You know, the young people that we're looking to bring this game up. You know, for the next 50 years, watching something like that isn't, you know, to me it just wasn't what the game needs. You know, we do need a little bit of excitement in the game of baseball, but, you know, an all-out brawl like that isn't, you know, isn't the way I was looking to get players, you know, more kids involved, especially on play ball with the day, you know.
Nick Davey, Albany Dutchmen head coach. Dutchmen set to start their season June 1st. They'll be at Blair Field on June 2nd. Nick, best of luck, and continue the push towards the playoffs again this season.
Thanks, Brady. I appreciate it.